Welcome back to What the Football?
What the football
Football.
is?
As you can probably see, Tadhg is having some internet issues at the moment.
It's a little bit brutal.
So just bear with us here. Hopefully his internet doesn't go out. Then I will have to do some talking here until Tadhg gets back. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But thank you for coming back and watching us.
Hopefully, fingers
Wednesday's
crossed.
Episode. Today is a very special day in the What the Football community. September 22nd is Tadhg's birthday.
Yay!
Yay, Tadhg. He's the big 1-0. He's turning 10 today. So we just say thanks for hitting double digits, man. Really. Ooh, yeah, there we go.
First ever drink of alcohol.
First ever. Yeah.
First ever drink.
We're purists here at What the Football. Never have ever sipped alcohol. I did once, just a sip on my 21st. Tadhg obviously just did on his 21st. That was his first ever one. Probably
that's all I'll be drinking. That's all I'll be drinking.
That's it. He's hit his quota for his life. But on a more serious note here, a little bit of change in the What the Football kind of world here. As some of you know, we didn't have a Monday episode, and we also did not go live this morning on Wednesday. There's a reason for that. As of today, me and Tadhg are no longer part of the Bench Sports.
No, we are not
fired. We did not get anything like that. We quit. And the main reason is it was hard with our school schedules. It was hard with our sleep schedules to get up as early as we did for What the Football on weekdays.
And it at that point, it's less energetic for you guys, which isn't as fun to watch.
We try to put the best content out there for you guys. And it's more fun when we're at our best, just like that Saturday episode was where we were literally insane.
We went psycho.
Exactly.
We went psycho.
But those are the kinds of episodes where we get to be our complete selves and not just be groggy and okay, let's get through this. Oh, it's finally 9 o'clock. Goodbye. This is what we're trying to make the best hour or so, because now we're not limited to an hour. It could be 40 minets. It could be an hour 20. It doesn't really.
It could be 2 days. It could be 2 days.
We're gonna break the record.
Not like with iCarly.
But that's sort of why we made the decision that we did, and then hopefully not super soon here, just because I know my schedule's I'm just busy with school and with everything going on, and I know and with work, and then Tadhg's also really busy with everything he has going on. So we're gonna try to spice up the videos a little bit more as far as editing goes. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to really be able to put into that, but hopefully it's just going to be better than hitting screen record this Zoom call and upload it. But again, that's all going to come in the near future. But for now, we are YouTubers. And for everyone,
call us Mr. Beast on the low.
Basically, I mean, we only have a few million less subscribers than him. It's not that many.
I mean,
there's like 7 whatever billion people in the world, and only 60 million of them are subscribed to Mr. Beast. Yeah, right.
Weak,
yeah.
If you ask me.
We're like Mr. Least, if you know what I'm saying. Up top. Anyway, we got a good episode for you guys today.
We're like Mr. Weast.
Oh, Blue Moon, Belgian White,
Mr.
Wheat Ale. It's a wheat ale. It's a wheat ale. I'm sad. I wish y'all knew you were gonna do that. I would have cracked open one with you here as well.
Well,
just kidding. This is actually straight vodka. I don't know if you guys can see this. Straight vodka.
Dang, dude. Yeah. Out of a red Solo cup, I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So as we get in here, dude, we got our normal Wednesday episode for you guys today. Not as rushed as it usually is. We got our game recaps, although that's not a normal Wednesday episode. It's usually on Mondays, but we didn't have a Monday episode. So we got our game recaps, our offensive, defensive players of the week from both conferences, our team of the week, just quarterback, running back, 2 receivers, and a tight end, and then the all-important top 10 teams of the week.
I'm excited for this week.
I am too. So this week, again, it's week 2, and we always say, excuse me. We don't always say excuse you. Usually only when we burp.
Sometimes.
And sometimes not even then.
Or if we're walking into people.
That's another. Let's see.
What are some other times you'll say excuse me?
When you accidentally interrupt someone. That's one.
Nice.
Thanks, man. This
when
is
you
just
accidentally hurt
so this
someone
is the kind of content that we're
emotionally.
now gonna. What did you say?
Nothing. What were you gonna say?
Patriots Jets was the first game on our slate here in the early afternoon.
Thank you.
Patriots, the Jets did not look good. Zach Wilson started.
It was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
He started like -4 for like 82, had 17 picks, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The Jets did not look good. We did not think they were going to look good coming into the season. They are not good right now. They won't be good this season. Mac Jones again looked good. Still without a touchdown, only 100 yards. A lot of that because.
Can I go ahead and just?
Mac Jones looked good. Mac Jones looked good.
I need to say something good. You would. Okay, I guess we have. Is my connection good? Can you hear me? Hear me?
I can hear you just fine now, but your face is for there we go. That is gonna look fit. I'm putting that as the thumbnail because that was freaking fantastic.
It just says your internet connection is unstable, and I was like, well, here we go. But I was just gonna say, saying he looked good is an insult to people who look good in games. Like Mac Jones looked very, very mediocre. He was given the ball. There were 4 turnovers, and he was given the ball that many times. He couldn't come away with 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
This is just shocking.
He does.
Hello?
I like your internet a lot.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your face is frozen. There we go.
Guys, Mountaineer Village. Shout out to Mountaineer Village.
No, but I mean, he didn't. I'll say he looked serviceable. How about that? Does that?
Yeah, that's a much better word.
Okay.
Much better word than good, because good means you were above average. He was not above average.
Okay. Fair enough. I will say he looked serviceable then.
Yeah, I mean, like against the Jets, yeah, but you 186 yards, like it's just, I don't know. It's just frustrating how many people flame, and I hate to keep bringing up Cam Newton, but
there we go.
Like the comparison is there because people bring up the comparison. Cam Newton had like 5 touchdowns through his first 2 games because, rushing and passing. Mac has 1, and it's like, I don't know. It's just really infuriating. Mac Jones, let's not. Did you see that thing I sent you from Colin Coward? Yeah, I think you did. That one dude saying that in a redraft, he would take Mac Jones first over Trevor Lawrence. Are you nuts? What has Mac Jones done? He was put in the best situation, no doubt, out of any of the quarterbacks. Maybe Trey Lance is being rivaled there, but Mac Jones and Trey Lance far and away. They weren't put into dumpster fires.
To be fair, Trevor Lawrence has not looked good.
Oh, wow.
Either.
Yeah, but Trevor Lawrence has nothing to work with. Mac Jones was dealt a great offensive line.
Yeah.
Great tight ends, not great receivers.
Probably the fairly
good running game
in the league.
And a good defense. Yeah, and a good defense.
Fair enough.
What does Trevor Lawrence have? He has good receivers.
Good receivers.
He has good receivers. Yeah, his O-line is awful. He's always playing from behind. Mac Jones doesn't have to play from behind because everyone else is doing the job. It's just like an annoying thing to say after 2 games you would take Mac Jones in a redraft when he hasn't even looked really good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I definitely would not say. I would still take Trevor Lawrence. They're 2 games into their career.
Yeah. Imagine Trevor Lawrence on the Patriots.
Oh, he'd be good. He'd be really good.
It would be.
I did see a stat here that said it was percentage of bad throws or off target uncatchable passes. That's what it was. Trevor Lawrence leads the league right now in uncatchable passes.
You want to know a stat that's also between these 2 boys?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little stat we like to call air yards on passes attempted. Mac Jones is the second worst in the league at 3.1.
That's not good.
That's how many. That's like a screen pass. And then Trevor Lawrence has 9.
Yeah.
9 point something.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, give them time to play a full season, play 2 full seasons. Chill out, everybody. Chill out. Let's not get too crazy. I think they're both going to have good NFL careers. We'll just have to see where it goes from here. But the Patriots get the win 25-6 over the New York Jets here, behind a really good defensive performance and 4 interceptions from Zach Wilson himself. We'll move on here to Broncos Jags. Only a 10-point victory here for the Broncos. I was expecting a little bit more, but nonetheless a convincing win from the team that's 2-0. And can I just say, the AFC West is backwards right now. Broncos and the Raiders.
It's the 80s.
It is
right now.
It is. The Broncos and the Raiders are the top 2 teams, and the Chiefs and the Chargers are 3rd and 4th. It's a little weird.
Teddy Bridgewater looks awesome. I'm gonna say Teddy Bridgewater looks awesome.
He looks fantastic.
Don't know why he didn't look like this on the Panthers, but he looks awesome.
He looks really good. And
Trevor Lawrence looks shocking, but he's also
Trevor Lawrence did not look good.
Running for his life, always playing from behind. So
14 for 33, 118, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Doesn't really invoke a lot of confidence with a number 1 overall pick. But like I just said, let's give him time. Let's give him a few years so that the coaches and the GM can build a system around him. Give him pieces. A man can't do it all himself. He can't.
Unless your name is Teddy Bridgewater, because he might be able to.
Well, fair enough. Broncos do have a pretty decent O-line and a very good defense and some pass
Broncos
catchers.
have a great roster.
Yeah.
They have a fantastic roster.
Broncos could be a playoff team here, which is scary to say. But they looked good against Jacksonville here. Got the win by 10, and they moved to 2-0. Jacksonville falls to 0-2. And Jacksonville now, I just want to see the 13 seed here in the AFC. Denver, the 5 seed, first wild card spot for them in the AFC. Next game on the slate, we have
the most
dominant win of the
My
season
internet connection
so far.
is unstable.
Yes, it is. And I can tell by your frozen face. The Buffalo Bills absolutely manhandled the Dolphins on Sunday. Obviously, the big story in that game was Tua's rib injury. Just released that he is going to be out for the game on Sunday with bruised ribs, or I believe he might have broken ribs. I think he actually had a couple rib fractures. I will have to look at that to see exactly what the injury was. It was something with the ribs, whether they were broken, bruised, torn out of his body, whatever it was. He will not play Sunday.
Could you imagine if his ribs were torn out of his body?
That would look terrifying on the field and would never be able to be aired again. The FCC would be all over that, all over CBS for that. The Bills and Dolphins both moved to 1-1 here. I mean, the Bills looked dominant. There's not another word for what they did.
Also, I'm trying to find who was a stud. Devin Singletary was very good.
They played a fantastic team game. The defense
Josh
played good.
Allen did not look good.
He didn't look fantastic. Barely over 50% completion, not even 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the interception to boot. He didn't make, besides the interception, not a ton of mistakes. They were very methodical in what they did. And I want to see their 3rd down conversions here. Can I see that? 3rd down efficiency. They converted over half of their 3rd downs. That's big. If you can do that in a football game, you got a good chance of winning that football game. And they won it by 35. Tua didn't look good. And of course, he was 1 for 4, 13 in the little that he played until he got hurt. Jacoby Brissett did not look good.
He did not look good.
No. And there's not much really else to say about that game other than the Bills killed the Dolphins. The Bills now, going back here, the Bills not in a playoff spot yet. Maybe because I haven't picked the game yet. The Bills, I'll let this refresh here. Move to, come on, you got it. The Bills are now atop of the AFC East, going 1-1 here. Bills now atop. I mean, you have the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, all 1-1. Should be a fun division to end the season here.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the next game we got? We have Niners, Eagles.
Jacoby looked bad, man.
Jacoby did not look good. 40 attempts. And you
hit
can't
up
even
Cameron.
200 yards.
Hit up Cameron.
Do it. The Cameron's a better quarterback than Tua is. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And people will disagree with me, and you're wrong. First of all, if you disagree with me, that's just a fact. And Tua, oh my gosh. Did you see, hold on, what you said about like the redraft and everything? PFF released something that was like, they redrafted the 2019 and 2020 draft, or 2020 and 2021 draft quarterbacks, and took Justin Herbert 5th behind Lawrence, Trey Lance, and Burrow after he had his rookie season.
Herbert goes number 1.
People wonder why I don't like Pro Football Focus. That's
so funny.
They do stuff only for clicks. It's the only reason they do it is to say something asinine and just absolutely, it's just to be dumb. And I'm sorry, you're dumb. PFF, you're dumb. I don't like you. Your rating system is stupid. Your grading system is awful. It's opinion based. They get -2 if they have a terrible play, but they get -1 if they have a bad play, 0 if it like didn't really do anything, 1 point if they do a really good play, and like 2 points if they do a fantastic play. How do you measure that? Like, there's no metric to measure that other than, I think he did good. Like, you don't know what's going on in the field. You don't.
Yeah.
How can you say, that's a good play? You don't know anything about football. You sat on the couch your whole freaking life, just like, I have. I'm not saying I'm PFF, but I'm also not going out here grading every single player that did everything and saying, this is how good they are compared to everybody else. No, I just have a podcast that I say stuff and I own up to it. PFF they're dumb. Anyway, sorry for my little rant there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now that we have time to do stuff like that, I like to release some of my anger out on this podcast. And after last week, I got a fair bit of it. And we'll get to that game here in a second. But Niners, Eagles, Niners win by 6 in a low scoring affair. 2 really good defenses. A very good defense and a slightly above average defense. The Eagles run defense is fantastic. And that's where the strength of the 49ers offense is in the run game. However, they had guys banged up. Michael Hasty got hurt. Elijah Mitchell got hurt. Freaking Raheem Mostert's out for the season before this game. They had a lot of banged up players.
It's unfortunate.
Came out with the win. Their strong point is not the passing attack. But they got it done. The Niners are a better team than most people think after these first 2 weeks. In my personal opinion, I think they're a team to be reckoned with. I think they're a team that has a chance to win every single time they step on the football field.
Definitely
as a legit chance, with the chance that their defense played how we thought they were going to week 1.
Yeah,
that Eagles offense looked really good week 1.
Defense
Jalen Hurts is a playmaker.
Awesome.
Jalen Hurts is a playmaker.
Awesome.
But they effectively shut down the Eagles offense. And then they got
at the same point, like the 49ers being better than we think they are these last 2 games, the Eagles, I think, are also a lot better than we all thought they were going to be.
Absolutely.
They look like a competent team.
Correct. And we didn't think they were going to in the
No. And no one did. It wasn't like it was just like a hot take from us. No one thought the Eagles were going to look good. Eagles look really good. I'm okay to say that we got this one wrong. Eagles look pretty solid. They can make a run for that division, honestly, with how up in the air the NFC East is.
Yeah, definitely. The NFC East is you have Washington that's 1-1. You have the Giants that are 0-2. The Cowboys are 1-1, and the Eagles are now 1-1. So up in the air right now. With that being said, I'll just check here. Washington still has the division lead just because they beat the Giants. That's a divisional game. Not the Eagles, 9th seed right now at 1-1. And the Niners hold the number 1 seed in the NFC as of right now. We go here to another 1:00 game. Rams Colts. This Rams passing attack with Stafford is freaking phenomenal. And their goal line defense is
awesome.
Is fantastic. Their goal line defense is definitely something to be reckoned with. I mean, when you have Aaron Donald up front, it doesn't hurt.
No.
And I mean, Stafford looked good, only attempting 30 passes, almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Carson Wentz, of course, spraining both of his ankles in this game somehow. Had Jacob Eason come in for him in the last drive. Couldn't get it done. The Rams only won by 3 here. Which some might think of as concerning. Darrell Henderson also a little bit banged up. But the Rams are a really good team.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. The Colts are a solid team.
They're not one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah. And I mean, Carson Wentz just is not the same as he once was. And I don't really know what happened. A lot of it's got to be confidence.
For sure.
Some of it is injury. It's just, I don't know. It's sad to see though, because he was one of those bright, promising players in our league.
For sure.
Who just he got in his own head and his body caught up with him. It's just really sad to see.
Definitely. You hate to see guys that just can't seem to shake the injury bug. Robert Griffin III, one of those guys who looked to be one of the most fantastic quarterbacks probably of our generation if he would have been able to play fully healthy. I mean, would have been rivaling Michael Vick for sure for his career. As one of the most lethal running quarterbacks of all time.
Shout out to the TikTok that I made. If you guys follow the TikTok,
shout out to the TikTok that I made today, which I thought
fantastic TikTok,
a stroke of genius, if I do say so.
How many likes does it have? I liked it and commented.
Yes, you did. I appreciate that. If you want to go see that, check out our TikTok. Link's going to be down below. I'll just say, if you like that Geico commercial with French vanilla rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough, that one, go ahead, check it out. Funny stuff, Rob. Anyway, the Rams beat the Colts. The Rams are the 7 seed at 2-0. And the Colts are,
because why not?
The Colts are actually 0-2 as the number 16 seed in the AFC right now.
Wow.
Yeah. You only have 3 teams that are 0-2 in the AFC currently. And those teams are the Jets and the Jags. The Jags have it off of a coin flip. I believe that's what it says. The Jets have it over percent versus conference. And then Indianapolis has a percent versus league is all that it says here. Don't know if this is extremely accurate just because it doesn't factor in points for, points against, any of that jazz. But it's fairly accurate.
No, that jazz.
Hey.
So this is infuriating, just so you know, the internet.
As infuriating as it is for me, I can totally see how it's almost as it's twice as infuriating for you.
It's just like I have no idea when it's okay to talk.
Fair enough. Like if you just hear like a long silence.
Just don't blame us. I promise it'll be better next week. If I have to hit the person who runs our Wi-Fi, and I don't know what that would do, but it might end in a positive, but it's going to be better next week.
There you go. I don't want to talk about this game. The Raiders beat the Steelers by 2 possessions. The Steelers' offense is not good. We knew that. We still
What's going on?
I don't know. The Raiders look like a good team. Here's the thing. Here's why I still have my reservations about this team. Yes, I'm a Chargers fan. I get that. They were 6-2 through 8 games last year.
The Raiders were?
They were 8-8 to finish the season.
That's fair. But the thing is, Derek Carr is leading the league in passing yards. He looks unreal.
He looks good, and it's scary. But I have always said I do like Derek Carr. I think he's an underrated
Derek
quarterback.
Carr is probably the most underrated player in the league.
Besides Keenan Allen, I'll agree with you there. But I mean, Derek Carr, he's a good quarterback. He really is. He puts up the numbers. And up to this point in the season, he's putting up results. The Raiders have looked really good, and that it hurts me to say that physically. I don't enjoy saying that. I'm ill right now saying that. And the Steelers don't look like a great team to me. I think we knew that. We both had them missing the playoffs this year. But yeah, I'll let you say your piece.
I mean, I was just gonna say, if I can get it out, I was gonna say that I hope the Steelers realize that they need to move on from Big Ben, because
they do.
He looks old. He looks so old. But also, hate to say it, but hit up Cam. Dude, he is better than a few quarterbacks in this league.
Hit up Phillip Rivers.
The Steelers are one of those teams. You want another guy who looks like he's 90 years old out on the football field. Because
at least
hit up Phillip.
At least he produces when he's old. And I mean that both on the football field and in the sheets. So Raiders moved to 2-0.
Oh gosh.
The Raiders he has 9 kids. The man is a freaking machine.
Please don't refer to him as a machine in the bedroom.
I will. I wish to. I hope to experience it one day. Honestly, as a diehard Chargers fan, I really do.
Experience him in the bedroom.
I would be honored. The Raiders are the number 1 seed in the league right now. Why did this just change so suddenly? What is happening? Oh, coin flips. Oh, okay. So these are all. Let me go to the actual NFL standings here, because I refreshed the page, and because of the coin flip, it completely turned around all of it then said the 49ers were the 6th seed instead of the 1 seed. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the full standings here. This is on NFL.com, so this will be 100% accurate. Okay. We'll go by conference. The Raiders are the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Steelers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have the 6th seed right now. And I think so. Yeah.
That will not last.
It won't. They will be the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 seed before this season ends here. Will not be the playoffs. Yeah. Bengals Bears. This looked like a Bears blowout for about 3.5 quarters, until Joe Burrow decided, hey, I'm gonna not throw 3 interceptions and actually do something
on 3 plays, on 3 passes.
And here's the thing: people want to say, "Oh, Joe Burrow, I mean, he's not a good quarterback." His offensive line sucks so
He has
bad.
2 seconds,
if that,
maybe.
And it's just, I give the guy credit where credit is due. He's doing the most that he can do. Over 60% completion percentage with that offensive line. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. I know he had 3 picks. That Bears defense, that Bears front 4 is phenomenal. Their front 7 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Bengals offensive line is a bottom 3 O-line in the league. You can't ask for much more than that.
I'm just happy that Jamar Chase is looking awesome.
Yeah, he really is. That Burrow to Chase connection is good. Has looked good.
Only had 2 catches, but one was like a 40-yard bomb for a touchdown.
Yeah, those dudes know how to connect. I mean, they've been doing it for years before the pros are doing it now. Justin Fields is going to get his first start next week. So that should be exciting to see here. But the Bears,
nothing, kind of a boring game, to be honest.
It was
like not
not
score wise, but like the two teams.
It really is.
And I hate to say that, but the two teams are just boring.
No, they are. And the Bengals have all those weapons, but they're not a fun team to watch if they get murdered on the line every single play.
Yeah.
It was close on the scoreboard. Not a close game though, really. The Bears dominated for 3.5 quarters, and the Bengals almost came back and actually made something out of it. Up until that last bit, though, it was all Bears. The Bears come away, get their first win of the season, to move to 1-1. The Bears in the NFC are the 8, 9, 10 seed right now, as the Bengals are the 13 seed, the worst 1-1 team in the AFC. We'll go here to Texans Browns. This was a game for a little bit.
Yeah.
The Texans hung in there for a bit. And up until
the Texans have not played badly.
Up until Tadhg got hurt. Davis Mills had them in the red zone.
It was tied at that
game.
It was tied at halftime.
I think what you just said is that it was tied at halftime. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, that wasn't clear?
No. That's all I heard. And we'll watch it back.
I'm infuriated by this internet connection.
Yeah.
I hate that it also keeps telling me your internet connection is unstable. I don't want it to keep. I know that.
Baker Mayfield looked really good. 19 for 21, 213.
2 incompletions.
1 pick. Only 2 incompletions. Nick Chubb, their rushing attack obviously looked good. Their leading receiver was Demetric Felton, if that means anything to you. But Jarvis Landry landing on IR here. So that'll be a big
but OBJ will be coming back.
OBJ practiced. He was a full participant in practice for the first time. Coming back here. We'll see how he's used without Juice. We'll see how he's used back in this Browns offense after the offseason. We'll see how that develops. Browns look to be a really good team this year. The Texans also looked good. It's weird to say, but the Texans looked like a decent enough team to win a few games this season when we didn't even think they were going to win like 2.
Scared for Thursday.
Yeah, fair enough. Panthers should win that game. We'll talk about that, I guess, at the end of this because we have to do that preview. Browns win 31-21, move to 1-1. Texans also move to 1-1 with the loss. The Texans are still in the lead of the AFC South. They are a playoff team right now, at 1-1 here. And then you have the Browns out of the playoffs as the 9 seed currently, just with everything, with how everything shakes out. Steve, this next game, you're welcome. Just want to say it. I called this a 2-possession game for the Saints, and I did it for you.
Lo and behold, almost a 19-point victory.
That's a 3-possession win for the other team. Jameis Winston, buddy, 50% completion, 111, 2 picks. Sam Darnold.
How's your MVP prediction for him?
Here's the thing. After MVP predictions aren't like legacy wise. It's how they perform in that season.
Yeah.
And he was number 1 week 1. I stand by.
And I stand by.
He is not anywhere near the top 50 now. So it's a week to week thing. They change. Micah doesn't think opinions can change. I'll say that much. But they can. A couple weeks ago before the season started, I didn't think Sam Darnold was going to be a good quarterback this year. I didn't think it was going to be a top 15 quarterback.
And look at my boy go.
And he's been a very, very good quarterback this year so far. And you can say, he played the Jets week 1. He played the Saints week 2 and won in more convincing fashion. The Saints
Yeah.
have a good defense. Granted, they didn't have Marshawn Lattimore for the game, but still, that's a good defense. A really
And also,
all around.
can I pop off for a second if the internet will let me?
It won't.
I know it won't, but here's the thing. There was this one dude, and he was saying that the Panthers are just easily the worst 2-0 team. All this stuff, like played the weak Jets. Saints missing pieces on their defense, missing the coaching. Had 8 attempts for 5 rushing yards. Okay, that's the Panthers defense.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that came through just now, but
not a lot of it. Here's what I took away, so the audience can hear this from a clear voice.
Yeah.
Some dude said that the Panthers were the worst 2-0 team in the league. They said that they played the Jets, who aren't good. They played the Saints, who are missing parts of their defense, and 8 members of their coaching staff, I believe. And Kamara only had 8 attempts for 5 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, Kamara having 8 attempts for 5 yards, it's because the Panthers defense was good. That makes no sense.
I'm well aware. I mean, our defense looks awesome, dude. Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Brian Burns. JC got his first career interception.
He did on the same week that Zont got his. So like we really have to
we have to respect it. Panthers look awesome. I'm just gonna say that.
Panthers are 2-0 going into Texans week on a short week. Game's tomorrow on NFL Network. They played the Texans. Saints moved to 1-1, only putting up 7 points. The Panthers are the 2 seed as it currently stands in the NFL, in the NFC. And the Saints are the 8 seed, just outside of a playoff spot. Obviously, that's a big game for the Panthers here, just because it's a divisional game. That's a divisional game that is huge.
That's huge. That's huge.
Probably the most exciting game of the week here, with Gus Johnson on the call. I've mentioned his name a couple times on the podcast, and I will reiterate that he is the best broadcaster in sports.
Easily.
Fantastic. And it was an ending, excuse me, that's another time. I just used excuse me. So there you go.
Nice. Okay.
Thanks. I'm just off cuff here. I'm going to stop talking about that and start talking about the Cardinals-Vikings game. The Vikings missed a kick to lose them the game. After he had made like a 54-yarder early in the game. He shanked a 36.
Yeah.
It's a Vikings way to lose. You put up 33 and you lose. I mean, Mike Zimmer, the days of a dominant Viking defense are over for Mike Zimmer.
Yeah.
It's long gone. Kirk Cousins, can I just say, played a phenomenal game.
He did. 3
touchdowns, no picks. 22 for 32. Dalvin Cook got banged up a couple times, still ran for over 130 yards. KJ Osborne, who thought he was going to be a decent receiver for the Vikings this year?
Justin Jeff gets a touchdown.
Finally. He got a touchdown. Adam Thielen went 6 for 39 for 1. Jefferson went 6 for 65 and 1. Osborne went 5 for 91 and 1. I mean, the Vikings look good. Looked good in that game, I guess I should say. I don't know. They're not a playoff team, but I think they are one of the better. Probably, I mean, I'm gonna say this without looking at who the 0-2 teams are first. Lions, Vikings, Giants, Falcons, Jaguars, Jets, Colts. Maybe minus the Colts, they're probably the best 0-2 team. It's either the Vikings or the Colts left.
Yeah.
But the Vikings still have to play the Packers twice. Still have to play the Bears twice, and that's always a fun game to watch. But the Cardinals, Kyler Murray doing Kyler Murray things again. And I was talking to my roommate here, Dylan, about he has Kyler Murray on his fantasy team, right? And I was talking to him. Kyler Murray, just phenomenal athlete. I mean, just makes stupid plays, extending plays, great at doing that. he has a few of those plays a game. However, with Kyler, there's a good chance you're also going to get one or two shockingly bad throws that almost always end up as interceptions.
Sure.
It comes with that Kyler Murray package, where he will blow your mind making a stupid escapability play and then throw it right to.
I mean, he's second in the league in passing yards right now.
Yeah. Good performance from him, 29 for 36, really good completion percentage, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. But again, they got the win.
One on the ground. He had a touchdown, so
he did 5 for 31, average 6.2 yards a carry. And of course, with that touchdown, as Teague mentioned, Cardinals get the win to move to 2-0. They currently stand as the 1 seed here in the NFC, right above the Panthers, and the Vikings move to the 14 seed in the playoff, or in the NFC right now. Excuse me. The first of the late window games, I believe this was a late window game. It was Falcons Buccaneers. Are we sure Brady's 44 years old?
No.
Sure.
No was the answer.
Man, he looks freaking good.
He looks so annoying.
I'm glad he's out of the AFC, frankly. Yeah.
I'm super happy he's in our division. That's awesome.
24 for 36, 276, 5 touchdowns, no picks.
Donuts on the picks.
What'd you say?
I just donuts on the picks.
Donuts on the picks?
0.
Okay, so I couldn't tell. I heard on the picks, so I was like, okay. But yeah, donuts, absolute donuts on the picks there. Quote from Tadhg himself. But I mean, the Falcons put up 25. This Buccaneers defense, I don't think. Their rush defense, their front 7, again, phenomenal. Their secondary is probably the weakest spot on their entire roster, and it's showing, allowing 28 and 25 points respectively in their first 2 games. It's concerning, but not concerning to a point where this team isn't probably the best team in the NFL, if not a top 2 or 3 team in the NFL. If you have Tom Brady at quarterback, you have the playmakers that he has. You have that front 7 that gets to the quarterback like no other. You have the run defense, which is just phenomenal. Do quick math here. 17 plus 38 is 55. They have 55 yards on the ground. The Falcons did this game. So, and they scored 25 points, if that shows anything.
The weakest point of the Falcons offense as well.
Correct. So not a great matchup there. The team wasn't a great matchup anyway. The team is matching up. It's one of the best teams, one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Buccaneers do move to 2-0, but they're not the best team in that division right now. They're the 6th seed in the NFC, as the Falcons are the number 16 seed in the NFC right now. We'll move on to the most exciting out of the afternoon games. And this was Titans at Seahawks. Titans coming away with an overtime win behind a monstrous day by Derrick Henry. Russell Wilson did pretty much all he could. I mean, he looked 22 for 31. Touchdowns. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he looked good. The run game still not looking great. They got to the quarterback. They were able to do that.
Wagner had 20 tackles.
What happened?
Wagner had 20 tackles.
Oh my gosh. That's unreal.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often. It really doesn't. The Titans, however, when you have Derrick Henry on the field, even if you're down by 2 possessions in the 4th,
still gonna run it.
They're gonna run the ball. He's gonna put up 35 carries for 182 and 3 touchdowns. It's gonna happen. As well as 55 yards. He was their 2nd leading receiver as well. So a 200 plus day all purpose from him as the Titans squeak one out in a game where I thought they were all but done. As both teams moved to 1-1. The Seahawks are the 12 seed right now with that loss in the NFC, as the Titans are the 11 seed here. We'll move on. Tadhg, I'll let you say what you have what you have to say about this game, and then I'll go and say my piece here. I believe you know what game I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. The thing is, Chargers just didn't play well enough. I know the refs called some shock plays, and I know that. But the Chargers lose themselves games more than any other team. They're the most they do it to themselves in a lot of instances. There was that one, I forget exactly what play because I didn't watch the game, so it's hard for me to remember, but there's one really bad call, but the only position penalty call before that was on them. And so it's just like stuff like that where like they're putting themselves in these positions to not succeed. I mean, Herbert, good completion, like 141, 300 games, only touchdown, 2 picks against a relatively weaker defense in the Cowboys. Better than we thought, but still not a great defense. And Dak, here's the thing, Dak got the job done and didn't have to put up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's what they should be hoping for. Tony Pollard at 109 yards on the ground. So overall, really good game. Refs made some bad calls, but Chargers had a lot of stupid penalties, which they can only blame themselves for.
Not much there I can say better myself, Tadhg. I think that's a really good assessment of the game. The refs, yes, did have a few horrible calls. But when you commit 12 penalties in a game, you can't blame all 12 of those on the refs. You got to take accountability for the ones that you committed. We had 2 touchdowns called back, one because of a BS penalty, one not because of a BS penalty. That's 14 points you put on the board right there. And 7 that are completely in your control. It's just, it was constantly, and Herbert looked, his 2 picks, because I watched the Brandon Staley press conference after the game. That's how I ease my depression after the loss, to give me a little bit of hope on a Sunday night. And there wasn't much. I barely watched any Anthony Lynn press conferences because I would have been more upset. Oh, that's fun. You can't really see what's happening because of your internet connection, but you can kind of get the gist. But
of course, it was a little fun game.
I've been watching the Brandon Staley press conferences because I love the way he talks. He's a fantastic communicator. I do. He's a really good coach, and
he's a great orator.
Yes, good word, good SAT word.
Thank you.
What'd you get on the SAT, by the way?
I got a 1390, baby.
There you go. All right. I like to, I'll give you as many opportunities to show that off as you can.
I appreciate that, Ken. Thanks you for asking.
And thanks you for asking. But so I was watching the press conference. There was the one pick that he had, the second pick that he had, Keenan Allen slipped. It was a rhythm throw. He's throwing it before Keenan Allen breaks, and Keenan Allen's going to run a little curl route, kind of like a spot route, right where he just sits in that spot, right in the soft point of the coverage. And Keenan Allen would have been in a perfect spot. Keenan Allen slipped through a pick. Unfortunate for Herbert. Counts against him. It is what it is. The first pick, I watching, looked at it and I was like, Herbert, you got to throw. It was a dig route to Keenan again. I think it was Diggs that just undercut it just a bit and picked it off. But listening to the press conference again, Keenan Allen actually ran that route deeper and at more of an angle than what they had practiced it at. He was supposed to run it flat. Brandon Staley said
Keenan's not a great
runner. I'm not saying that. I will never say that.
Caleb just said Keenan's not a good route runner. You heard it here, folks.
I'm just saying, Herbert, while throwing the 2 picks, both not necessarily on him. Besides those two, I mean, he made some ridiculous throws, just some stupid throws, like the one to Keenan Allen on the sideline, like 50 yards in the air, just a dot over the defender. I mean, Justin Herbert is a fun player to watch, no matter what fan you are of, or team you're a fan of. Excuse me.
I'll agree to that.
But as it pertains to the loss, absolutely agree. We did not play well enough to. It would be different if we like committed 4 penalties, and we scored like 400 yards, 450 yards of total offense, held them, stopped the run.
Sure.
It'd be different.
Sure.
But we didn't play well enough to win that game, even without the penalties. Should we have? If there were no ref blunders, we would have won the game. Yes, but we did not necessarily, in my opinion, deserve to win that game. I think that's a loss.
Sure.
If you're going to take one like that, have it be early on in the season. Have it be against an NFC opponent. Take it on the chin. Have it going into Chiefs week. I love it. I think Brandon Staley, the little from what I've seen within interviews in training camp, he is a guy that the team loves to play around.
That's
and
good.
A guy that's gonna build a really good program for us in the future. Sure. But that being said, I called it.
Yeah.
I said if the Cowboys are going to win this game, it's gonna be because of the run game, and it's not going to be because of Dak throwing the ball 45 times. And what do they do? Almost 200 yards rushing. Dak, no touchdowns, under 300 yards in the pick.
You're right. Yeah, I'll give you full. Yeah.
I mean,
sadly, you picked the Chargers to win, but
I did.
Right,
I did. But
the Cowboys win.
I'll tell you this right now: I'm gonna pick the Chargers to win every week. Because here's the thing: even last season, minus the Patriots game, I feel, or actually going into the Patriots game, I felt like we could have won every single game. And in a lot of those games, we were in a position to win that game against the Saints, against the Chiefs, against the Panthers, against
one against the Panthers. That's the thing.
Yeah, 1-6. The Chargers, the Panthers own the Chargers. Genuinely,
we do. That's like a fact.
It's the Chargers' worst winning percentage against any team.
Of course it is. Literally, of course it is.
1-6. Genuinely shocking. We'll go here. We'll stop talking about that game. The Chargers are the 12 seed currently in the AFC. And the Dolphins are the 9 seed. Again, take this for what you will. Take it with a grain of salt. It's week 2. Playoff standings don't really mean much right now. I think it's just fun to kind of see where teams are at. My analytical brain.
Chiefs Ravens,
a fantastic game. And can I just say, let's go Ravens, baby. They put Lamar put the team on his back.
Lamar was awesome. I know he had here's the thing. Lamar started so with those two early interceptions.
6 first drive.
After those picks, he was unreal.
Yeah.
And the whole narrative of Lamar not being a good player or a good quarterback is out the door. I don't care that he only had 239 yards and a touchdown. He had 107 rushing yards and 2 rushing. I know that doesn't help the case of him not being a running back, but the thing, he's a playmaker. He makes plays for his team, and it's unreal.
Yeah.
Mahomes also played great. And
that's the thing.
His first career September interception.
Yeah. I think his first September loss as a starter, I believe, too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Both offenses played phenomenally. Also, Patrick Mahomes' first loss in his career where they're up by 10 plus in the fourth quarter.
I mean, congrats to the Ravens. Lamar got the job done against Mahomes, which he hadn't able to his career yet, and he did. Tyreek Hill was essentially irrelevant. The defense shut Tyreek. Probably gonna be under a moment, like Tyreek not being good, but genuinely shut down Tyreek, and that is a tough task to do.
Missing Marcus Peters as well. Obviously, Marlon Humphrey pretty much shadowing him the entire game. Looked better than he looked against the last play against Zay Jones. I'll tell you that much in week 1. But shoot, I mean, all I'm gonna say is that Tyreek Hill has 211 yards on the season. Keenan Allen is 208 yards on the season.
So Tyreek has more. Shock.
Well, I just want to say if the bogus offensive PI call wasn't called against Jalen Guyton, Keenan technically would have had like 30 more. So really, no. Ravens
Let's
win.
quickly talk about this Packers-Lions game. Get this over with.
Yeah.
Because it was relatively. I mean, Rodgers looked awesome. Like literally awesome. Aaron Jones was a madman. 4 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah. 3 receiving. Literally was Danny Woodhead against the Miami Dolphins for the Chargers 17 in 2016. So.
Can someone tell me why DeAndre Swift is on the field half the time as Jamal Williams? Because it is so infuriating. On the last drive, he doubled his fantasy total. On the last drive, he doubled it. It was like, and like he's good. Like DeAndre Swift is good. When you watch him, he's good.
Yeah.
And Jamal is not. And it's like annoying that DeAndre will come out like every other play. It's like, dude, leave him in. Let him get them. I don't know. But I mean, Packers beat the Lions. We all saw it coming. Packers, it didn't really prove anything to me, honestly, for the Packers. It wasn't like, oh, now they're a great team. It was like, yeah, you beat a team you should have beaten. Why did you lose to the Saints by that much? The Panthers just beat.
Week 1 is going to week 1. I mean,
That's
it's just going to happen. I called it again. I'll go 2 for 2. Literally, I said this is how every
2 for 2 because you picked the Chargers to win. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, this game I genuinely quarter by quarter broke down how this game was going to go. Said quarter 1, the Lions are probably going to be in the lead, and they were 14-7. Second quarter, the Lions might even have the lead at half. I believe they did 17-14. And then I said the Packers are going to blow it away in the third quarter, and then the game won't be close. They won 35-17.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say that I know football. I just want to say that I do host a football podcast on
YouTube. Football.
So I would like to say that I do know the sport that I have been watching my whole life. So thank you so much. And then for the people who say I don't know football, Micah Patchen, what are you even thinking, bud?
You will rue this day.
You'll rue it. The Packers. Right. So the Ravens actually, since they're the Ravens and the Chiefs. Ravens are the 2 seed in the AFC. Chiefs are actually out of the playoff spot right now with the 8 seed. As far as the NFC goes, the Lions are the 13 seed, and the Packers, shock, move up to the top of the division, 4 seed right now at 1-1.
Yeah.
All right, that is done. Teague, we'll go
let's quickly talk about the Panthers Texans game.
Panthers,
just quickly get that out of the way.
Genuinely.
No, please, Caleb, for the love of everything.
Here's the thing. I'm only saying it because I believe it. Davis Mills at quarterback. This is a 2 possession plus game for the Panthers.
Your mouth. Okay, the Panthers, I do win this game, and I think they should. But the Texans, let's keep this in perspective. They have not played badly. They lost by 10 to the Browns, who we both have going to the AFC Championship game. The AFC divisional, the Bills. But as a great team, and then they beat the Jags, which isn't much, but they are horribly. So let's keep that perspective. But the Panthers should win this game, and I hope they do. Okay,
fair enough. I think the Panthers win this game definitely. Davis Mills starting at quarterback with Tadhg being on IR. I mean that's all I have to say. Panthers defense should have a freaking field day with that offense. We'll move on here to our AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and I think we can say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Derrick Henry.
King Henry.
It doesn't matter if you have. I mean, you shouldn't have anybody else here.
No,
it doesn't make sense to.
It's genuinely not okay.
No, we talked about him already. 3 touchdowns, 185 yards, 200 all-purpose, won them the game.
Yeah, whatever.
AFC defensive. I'll go first here.
Okay.
I wanted to pick someone from the Bills because they shut out the Dolphins. Sure.
Yeah.
They had a shutout, so I wanted to pick someone from them. So I settled on Matt Milano, who had 5 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, and a fumble recovery. Matt Milano has always been one of those guys, one of those linebackers that you don't really think of when you think of good or to great oh my gosh, linebackers in the league. Matt Milano has always been a pretty decent linebacker for his career.
Definitely.
Always one of those unsung guys that gets the job done without having any press sort of around him. So good performance by him, good performance by the Bills defense this week.
I have a guy that's probably not going to be on this list again. That's kind of why I wanted to give him, and I don't think this defense will be on the list again. Justin Reed out of the Houston Texans. He had a pick, a forced fumble, and a couple tackles. Just overall, he played really well and kept them in that game for as long as they were in it. And I don't really think the Texans are going to be on here a ton. So I wanted, when they have a standout, I wanted to make sure he got his name out there. Well done, Justin.
Understood. NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Who do you have, Tad?
No, you could have gone a couple different routes. The only reason I'm saying this guy is partly he deserves it, partly, but also I called it. Aaron Rodgers, I picked as my NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and then he comes out, 250 yards, whatever it was, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 22 of 27. Looked really good. I almost went Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones' touchdowns, although he had 4, which is unreal, I don't want to discount that, weren't the toughest touchdowns to get. It was, and most of them came from Rodgers.
Yeah.
So while Aaron Jones is probably the more obvious pick, I wanted Aaron Rodgers because I called it, and I thought it was kind of cool that I picked him, and he was at least in the running for this position.
Yeah. I picked my guy because he played against me in fantasy and single-handedly brought me down to 1-1 in our league. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Fantastic day at the office for him.
Unreal.
Few receptions, 163 yards, I think, off the top of my head.
2 touchdowns.
And a couple touchdowns. Unreal performance by him. Expect to see a lot of Rams players on these lists this year. Because it will be happening. NFC Defensive Player of the Week, my friend.
Another guy, or another team that'll probably be on here a couple times. I got the Bucs with Mike Edwards. I
have him too.
2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
What? That's like Jeremy Chin having 2 fumble recovery touchdowns.
Fair enough.
It's like the same thing. Mike Edwards won this for me, and it wasn't necessarily close. To put up 14 points for your team on the defensive side of the 12 points.
Yeah.
The defensive side of the ball is a very tough task to do, and he did it.
Fair enough. I will take this break because I just thought of it right here to interject with this. Tadhg, because we're not doing this in the morning, does that mean we won't get to see the classic robe anymore?
Oh, the robe will be making a return. You don't have to worry about that.
Perfect. I was worried for our viewers there that they wouldn't get to.
Don't be scared.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
All right. We'll go to our team of the week here. As I'll start. As Tadhg waves by.
I was saying hi to Lizzie.
Oh, you're saying hi or bye?
Hi.
Oh, hi, Lizzie. Shout out to Elizabeth McCoy.
Shout out to Elizabeth
best friends.
McCoy.
And I'm pretty sure she's a Chargers fan. So yeah.
It's actually weird. She just told me she hates the Chargers with everything inside of her, but she is a Panthers fan. Team of the week, QB, Tom Brady for me.
Thomas, middle name Brady for sure.
Edward.
5 touchdowns.
Edward.
It is Edward.
Edward.
It is Edward. I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to be wrong.
It's Thomas Edward Brady, 5 touchdowns, over
Yep.
200 yards. He's 44 years old, but he doesn't seem like it. He's unreal.
The running back's Derrick Henry. We don't need to talk about that.
Wide receivers. This feels weird because these are 2 guys that are relatively number 2s on their team.
Sure.
I have Cooper Kupp and Tyler Lockett.
I have Cooper Kupp and Cortland Sutton.
Okay. Tyler Lockett just had 11 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. Sutton had 9 for 150 in the 150s. Really good day at the office for him. And a win. So tight end, couple names you could go here.
Kelsey.
I had Kelsey. Yeah.
Over 100 yards, 7 catches, a touchdown. Gronk had touchdowns, but only 3 yards.
Exactly.
So Kelsey was the better overall, more important, was there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so yards are more important than touchdowns. Is that what Tadhg just said?
We're not doing this, you guys.
I'm pretty sure that Tadhg's reasoning for having Travis Kelsey instead of Gronk and I couldn't.
Well, okay, yeah.
Because the internet.
No. I'll agree with you. 110 yards and a touchdown is better than 30 yards and touchdowns. I will say that. But 100 yards and no touchdowns is not better than 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm confident with that.
Jake can hear us filming right now. Texting me, doesn't matter for Keenan. Or still doesn't count for Keenan. That's what he said.
Correct, Jacob.
Good old Jake
right,
here.
Honorable mentions. Let's go.
We'll go top 10s here. Honorable mentions. I will tell you this right now. I don't have the Panthers on here
at all.
If I would have to put them 13th if I put them anywhere. Honestly,
okay,
they barely missed out to me.
I'll tell you, I have the Panthers ranking right around 12, and that's of course homery, but we're also 2-0, so it's not that crazy.
Fair enough. I have the Packers as my first honorable mention. Don't have them in the top 10 yet.
I don't have them in the top 10 or as an honorable mention, but they'd be 13th. It would be 13th.
All right.
My only reasoning is Panthers beat the Saints. Packers got embarrassed by the Saints.
Exactly. Yeah. I understand that for sure. But I have the Packers and not the Panthers.
Sure.
Cowboys are my second honorable mention team here.
Raiders here.
All right.
So that means you have them in the top 10. Yeah, I'll tell you, this was interchangeable with my number 10 spot, but I went with the better roster over number 10. I'll just go right into it. I have the Broncos at number 10.
Okay.
And roster-wise, they just have a better defense, is what it comes down to. And their offense is, Teddy Bridgewater's playing amazing. And it looks serviceable. I think they have a better roster, but the Raiders are right there. There.
I also have the Broncos here at 10.
Okay.
Another notable team that I don't have here is the Seahawks. I was thinking about
I don't have
the Seahawks here. A less than convincing win. To me, I know it was by 14 points week 1. But it's gonna to me, I know Russell Wilson's gonna at some point fall off. I know what's gonna happen. And then with the loss, their defense is their issue, and them not holding leads. They're the Chargers of the NFC when it comes. Okay, maybe the Falcons, but they are the better team in the NFC that blows leads like it's nothing, and they do it consistently. So I don't have the Seahawks here as an honorable mention. That will change throughout the season. I'm almost positive of it. But just to me here, I have the Broncos here. They're 2-0. Really good defense. Teddy Bridgewater's been playing really well. The teams that they've beaten aren't good. That's where my only hesitations here lie.
That's me too. Me too.
That's the only reason why they are 10 for me.
Okay. Number 9, I have the 49ers.
Okay.
They've just flipped the switch in 2 weeks. Their offense was awesome week 1. Their defense was awesome week 2. I want to see a combo of it before I put them any higher. I know they're 2-0. They're behind some teams that are 1-1. I want to see a little more consistency from both sides. And the Eagles, again, we think that they're a solid team. We don't know if they're great. I want to see if the Eagles are good, then it was a good win. But if they're not good, why only win by 6? It's kind of I just want to see. I need a couple more weeks to really mull over the 49ers and how I feel about that team.
That's fair enough. I have the Cardinals here at 9.
Okay.
I like their team a lot. Their offense is explosive. We know that. They put up 30 plus both weeks. Their defense allowing 33 is
shocking.
A little shocking. They looked really good against the Titans, but every defensive line looks good against the Titans, I guess I should say. Because
you allow 180 yards and 3 touchdowns
on the run game. Yes, I'm more talking about pass rush than anything.
Yeah,
but I guess in the same sense for the 49ers, I want a complete game out of them against a really respectable opponent. Obviously they could have the Cardinals are a really good team. They could put it together against the Texans, against the Jags, against the Jets, against the Giants, anytime they wanted to. That game wouldn't be close in my eyes. I want to see them do it, and they'll have a chance to win the NFC West. So I'm excited for those games. I'm going to wait until they play a divisional opponent until I put them any higher, because in my eyes, I guess not now, but coming into the season, they were the weakest team here in the NFC West. So we'll see.
All right. Yeah. Number 8, I got the Seahawks.
Okay.
This is where they fell for me.
Fair enough.
Overall, they're like a fan offense. Defense again is bad, but I think defense last year will come together. And I'm just hoping, praying to God that Russell Wilson doesn't be trash the whole last half of the season. Like one of these days, he's got to keep it up for a whole season, right? You figure maybe it's this season. So I got him at 8 right now.
Fair enough. I have the team in Nevada here.
Vegas.
And I will not be commenting further. Number 7, I have the San Francisco 49ers here.
And I have the Cardinals.
Okay. I mean,
so we have the same top 6. We have the same top 6.
Yes, we do. That's good. I was putting together my list. I was like, okay, maybe this is a little, I don't really know here.
I know it's crazy.
But
Cardinals is 7, yeah. Or I don't know who did you 49ers, right?
49ers, yeah.
Cardinals have just looked consistent in at least one area thus far, offense, where the 49ers have not up to this point. And they're both 2-0. So I gave it to the team that's at least consistent somewhere.
There you go. All right, our top 6. This will be interesting to see where this lies here. Number 6, I have the team that lost to the team that I have at 8. I have the Baltimore Ravens, and not in my top 5 yet. Again, I know they have some missing pieces. I know Lamar probably won't play that well as consistently as he did last night. He won't have many more games like that where he puts up that many points and yards and touchdowns overall.
Okay.
He's a fantastic player, but I really think that the 5 teams ahead of the Ravens would beat them. That's pretty much the reason why I have the Ravens at 6. Plus, the Ravens lost to the Raiders.
That's true,
and we don't really know much. But I'll tell you this much: the Chiefs fell.
Yeah, I mean, I have so it doesn't make me sound like a fake fan. I have Evelyn here. My only reservation with them is that I don't know. It's still, I haven't seen it even against the Texans, they weren't necessarily dominant, and I want to see them be dominant against at least one team before I put them any higher.
Yeah.
Especially because they're still proving themselves. It's not like they came in the season fantastic. It was they have high expectations because they have new pieces and they're starting to come together, but they haven't been incredible yet. And I want to see them dominate some teams before I give them the respect that I want to give them. So they're at 6 for me, right?
Understood. I have Cleveland at 5. I know the Ravens beat the Chiefs. I know Cleveland lost to the Chiefs. To me, the Browns have a more complete roster.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's pretty much just what it comes down to. I could flip them and I wouldn't feel any sort of remorse, any sort of angst within me. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. It's just where I have them fall here at 5.
So I have the Bills here.
Okay.
At 5.
All right.
35-0 is awesome. 35-0. Yeah. They also lost to the Steelers. I don't really know what to do with them. It's week 2. We still got a lot of season left to play. But the Bills thus far have been dominant and then not dominant. And I want to see them be consistently dominant, for the season. And I want Josh Allen to play better. I mean,
I do too. He's on my fantasy team in the keeper league.
Exactly.
I would love for that to happen. The Bills are my 4. I'll just go ahead.
Okay. And I'll tell you, the Ravens are my 4. I'll just kind of get
so
that.
We do at the top. We have the same top 3 here.
The only thing.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say with the Ravens is dude, Lamar, when he's on, it's kind of like prime Cam. There's not other players who do what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it's it's awesome to watch. And I love, again, they're behind the Chiefs for both of us, which is kind of, but didn't they just beat the Chiefs? And it's but not 10, out of 10 games, I think the Ravens win maybe 3, but the Chiefs are still a better team. And that's what a lot of our listeners are going to have to realize. Sometimes a better team loses. And we've said that before.
If this was just a power rankings of teams that beat other teams, you'd have the freaking, you'd have, I'm just trying.
The Cowboys would be in the top,
yeah, exactly. The Buccaneers would be it would just be weird.
Yeah. But right now the Ravens are. The thing is with the loss to the Raiders, they lost like every running back on their team a couple days before that game.
Yeah.
So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. That was kind of like a weird situation. And now it seems like it doesn't even matter. They lost their running backs. They got it together, beat the Chiefs in Lamar's first time in his career. And I don't know, it's exciting to see, but I understand, reservations with them. And then you have the Bills.
I do have the Bills at 4. They looked dominant against the Dolphins. I think week 1, they were in that game. They were winning that game for the majority of that game against the Steelers. Just couldn't pull it together at the end. I do think the Bills are one of the hardest teams to beat in the AFC. And obviously, I clearly think that they're the second best team in the AFC right now. But not if they are, man, that second, third, and fourth spot between them, the Browns, and the Ravens, it is not a wide margin.
Those are the 3 AFC teams that are like battling for number.
Agreed.
And that number 1 team in the AFC is at my number 3 spot, the Chiefs.
As they are mine.
And I know that might seem crazy. You guys know I love the Chiefs.
You do.
The thing is, I can't justify so early in the season. I can't justify putting them above teams that have lost it. It's like later in the season, if the Rams go to they're 8-2 and the Chiefs are 7-3, the Chiefs have looked better. But at that point, like early in the season, it's like
Chiefs,
one game is
Chiefs will be 7-3 because
they're
starting their second loss on Sunday. So I'll just say that.
Okay. The only thing is like it's the difference between being 1,000 is this one game.
None of that was English. I don't even know if you're. Hey. None of what you just said was able to be heard.
Tell you how mad I am right now.
You good? Maybe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good now. I'm so mad.
All right, I'll go here for the Chiefs.
I guess it doesn't.
Yeah. The Chiefs, put them at 3 seems perfect for me just right now. I can't put them ahead of the Bucs or the Rams in whatever order I have them in. But I do want to hold on. I want to share this because I just got the tweet from Pro Football Reference. They texted me. Here's the top 5 best on target rates in the NFL right now for quarterbacks. This is the amount. This is the percentage of times that their pass is on target to their receiver. Number 5, Justin Herbert, 84.9%.
Okay, good. Herbie.
Teddy Bridgewater at 4 with 85.5%. Jimmy G at 3 with 88.5%.
Okay, this list is starting more and more questionable.
Baker Mayfield at number 2.
Shock.
89.6% of his passes. And if you had to guess, the only quarterback over 90% of his best on target rate, it's Mac Jones.
That means nothing to me when he's throwing the ball free. I hope he's on target 90% of the time. He's had one pass that traveled more than 30 yards. That literally means nothing to me.
I generally think Herbert does that at least 10 times a game. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, like, dude, throwing a screen pass, I hope you're at a 90%. You're an NFL quarterback. I hope you're at 90%. Wow. That was irrelevant. Okay, the Chiefs are number 3.
I just wanted to see what reaction you would have to that.
Because they're 1-1. Bucks are number 2 for me. I assume they're number 1 for you. And the
of course the Bucks are number 1 for me. I'm not gonna move them until they lose. or they show me that they're not deserving of the number 1 spot.
That's fair. The only thing is, I'm trying to be consistent, like you are. Like they both won. I gotta keep it consistent. The Rams are still above the Bucks. Bucks defense just still looks kind of questionable to me. and it hasn't been as dominant as we expected it to be. It's like paid another. It's whatever. They're going to be probably in the Super Bowl again. So who am I to say anything? But right now, the Rams' offense and defense is a better code than the Bucs to me, even though, the Bucs lost both.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that concludes the almost hour and a half episode here of What the Football. Thank you guys so much for listening. Obviously, they won't all be an hour and a half just because we had so much to get through today because we missed Monday's episode. So it was kind of 2 in 1. Thank you guys. If you stuck all the way through, I appreciate you guys watching.
I promise my internet will be better. Promise.
We sure hope. We know it's not a great viewing experience, but we still want to put up content.
Stick with us.
Nevertheless. And I mean, at least you could hear at least 80% of what he said.
That's good.
Albeit a little warbled sometimes. But still, Wednesday's episode.
All right.
There you go. Saturday we'll be back. We got our boy Be Smooth in town for yet another episode.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
As Be Smooth always loves to join us here. Me and Tadhg will most likely be in the same house for Saturday's episode. So I've already thought about it. I'm probably going to go in Ali's kitchen. Tadhg's probably going to stay in his bedroom. Bryson's going to be with one of us and asking questions. And we'll have a fun time as we always do on a Saturday episode. I know they're my favorite episodes to film. I know they're some of Tadhg's favorites. I'm a trivia head, genuinely avid Jeopardy watcher.
I'm waxing Caleb this year so far in quizzes.
He has 1-0 right now, and he won by 1.
2. Remember the Mark quiz that you never posted?
Which one?
The quiz that Mark did that you.
Oh, the 2020 season one. Okay, fair enough. If we're going by official What the Football quizzes. In season 2,
shocked that Caleb controls the YouTube. Caleb controls the YouTube and doesn't upload the one that he loses. Of course,
I uploaded the one. We were live for the one that I lost on,
but the other one
that will never air. The reason for that being, I don't want to spend 10 hours editing that when I physically don't have time to. I don't have the time to edit that, and it's pointless now. We can always do another 2020 season one. We'll do more quizzes, and we'll have to see.
Yes, we will.
How it all pans out starting Saturday. Can I even up?
I love you guys.
Or can
I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys.
All of those went through. The one time your internet connection is to tell the fans you love them.
Just had to make sure.
Perfect way to end off this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Welcome to the YouTube era of What the Football.
Oh, yeah.
That was not clear. That sounded like, oh, you did it. You did it. With that.
It was the vector. Oh, yeah. Okay.
This has been What the Football.
What the Football.
The football.
And there it is.